So first you're going to want to start off with your bow tie pasta. You are going to want to boil these al dente, just follow the directions on the box. And while we are bringing this up to a boil, we're going to go ahead and start on our sauce. I have the 4 tablespoons of butter. We're going to go ahead and melt. Okay, so our butter is melted. Our noodles are boiling. And now we are going to add our minced garlic. Now it calls for 4 cloves of freshly pressed garlic. I do not have that, so we are substituting minced garlic. So I'm going to do about 4 teaspoons. So 1 teaspoon equals 1 head of fresh garlic. Oh, wrong lid. Mom's gonna have to wash that now. All right. And you're gonna wanna just cook this for about a minute. You do not want to burn the garlic. Just cook this. It only takes about a minute. It is that quick. And now we are going to add our basil. Can you see the measuring spoon? Let's see this one. And I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of basil. Give that a good whisk. Whisk that in. Let's check our noodles. Now remember, you want them to be al dente because they will continue to cook in the oven. And when we are going to stop these here, go ahead and drain these guys. Okay, we've got our noodles drained. To this sauce now, I'm going to remove this from the heat just a second to add this. This is 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. Now, I do recommend using the full fat cream cheese. Some recipes, it may or may not, separate a little bit and not look so hot when you reheat it. But, unfortunately, this is what I have today. I have the new facile cheese, which is the lower fat cream cheese. So we are just going to bring that back onto the heat and continue to stir this. And what you're going to do is just continue to stir this until, I am flinging butter all over the place. Continue to stir this until the cream cheese is smooth. All I'm doing is making a mess here. I'm just flinging butter out all over the place. So gently stir because the butter is coming out. But it is starting to melt. It's just going to take a minute to get everything. Okay, we've got this pretty smooth now. I'm going to go ahead and slowly add the milk to this. Oh, actually, my bad, guys, my bad. I need to add my sun-dried tomatoes first. I almost forgot those. So these have been drained, rinsed, and now they are going in the cream cheese. Okay. Yes, sweetheart. Oh, yep, you're right. Now this did call for 8 ounces of sun-dried tomatoes chopped. However, unfortunately my husband is not a fan of those, so I halved that amount. And I'm just going to throw the other ones in the freezer for another recipe. Okay, so this is looking perfect. Now let's add the milk. And it's 2 cups of milk. I used whole milk. Feel free to use, salt. We are going to salt this in just a minute, buddy. Let Mama get this stirred back in, and we are going to salt this up. So the only things I have left to add to this are going to be the salt, pepper, and the 8 ounces of shredded Parmesan cheese. This is looking very good. Very good. All right, you want to add the salt and pepper now? Okay. All right, we need a half a teaspoon of salt. What's all over this? We need a half a teaspoon of salt. Can you fill this one up for me? Oh, this is one. Where'd my half a teaspoon go, big guy? Where's my other measuring spoon? Right here. Oh, you're right. Okay, I need one of these, please. Thank you. My little helper loves to cook. Thank you, sir. Now, can you get me a pepper? You need help getting the lid unscrewed, or can you get it? You got it? Okay, it might be on tight. Mommy might have to get it. Yeah, it's on tight. Here, I'll help you. Oh, you got it? You got it, Muscles. You got it? And I'm just going to continue to stir while I wait on my pepper. Oh, look at that. All right, we're going to add just a little bit more. Here, take the lid off, Mommy. Put a little bit more in there. We like pepper. All right. And there is our half teaspoon of pepper and salt. All right, and now we are going to add our Parmesan cheese. Sweetie, you want to hand me the Parmesan cheese? All right, we're going to add our Parmesan cheese. Going to grab our diced chicken that I have in the refrigerator. All right, I'm going to add the noodles to the sauce. Oop, I let them sit a little bit too long before I got back to this. That's okay. Just give them a little stir and they will be perfectly fine. Then we're going to add our cooked chicken. Now I recommend using grilled chicken on this, just gives it a little bit more flavor. Any chicken works. I'm actually using like a poached chicken today. So I cooked up a big batch of chicken and diced it to use in recipes. When I do that, I just kind of like to make it plain. That way it will go into fit into more recipes rather. You know, the grilled chicken might not taste good in every recipe, so. All right, this is almost stirred. Got my pan a little bit full, but it's gonna work. Then I already have my 2 8x8 freezer pans here. I went ahead and sprayed them with nonstick cooking spray. And then we're just gonna divide this up. And I was gonna freeze both of these, but my son is wanting this for lunch. So we're just gonna go ahead and pop one of these in the oven. And then I'll be able to show you guys what it looks like fresh out of the oven too. All right, let's get this into our containers. All right, I'm gonna have to bring these over here a little bit before I make a big mess. And just kind of even it out in the pan. And don't want to miss any of this yummy goodness in here. So we are going to scrape all this, pour it over. probably going to cook the one that has the least amount of sauce in it that it looks like, because when you freeze something and you reheat it, now this is just a personal preference, not all recipes are like this, but I tend to like to add a little bit more liquid to the meal, because when it reheats, it'll keep it from drying out. It won't be dry. So this recipe, because it is a freezer meal, there is plenty of sauce on this. I'm perfectly happy with the amount of sauce on this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and top these with the chicken. Just divide them up in half. And you could mix the chicken in as well. I just did it this way, that way it's more of an even amount. And I'm probably actually going to put more on the one that I'm freezing, because my son does not like all the chicken in his pasta. All right, guys, we have these complete. So one of these, once it cools, I'm going to put foil on it right here, and we will have this for another meal. The other one I'm going to go ahead and freeze. All right, here is the hot one fresh out of the oven. Looks super fabulous.